Hey everyone, just wanted to do an update on something cool I learned recently, which was Google Maps' Tile API. And what this allows you to do is basically bring in site context from Google Maps straight into a modeling software, and then from there you can export that onto Revizto. A few months ago, I was playing around with how to bring in basically images from Google Earth and splitting that all those images up from a video and then from there it would auto align all the images and turn it into a photogrammetry 3D mesh, which is one way to get context quickly. But there's actually an easier way, which is this one, using the Map Tiles API, which I think came out a few months ago, maybe this summer. I believe Google released that API. But what that allows you to do is really integrate that API with numerous software. The main ones are Unreal Engine, I believe, and Blender, which I'm going to show you. And you could download those add-ons. This one for Blender was by Blossom, which I did get the premium. You could see it's pretty cheap to just get that add-on. And then once you have that and install Blender, you can see right here I was able to import a whole city of downtown Seattle. But yeah, you basically you can select pretty much any region in the world, just going into that add-on and hitting select, and you can see it's gonna pull up the map of the world. And all you need to do is really just kind of zoom into what you want to look at. So let's say I wanted to look at downtown or Manhattan. You kind of select the rectangle. You don't want to make it too big because it'll take even longer, or it might not import because it's a lot of information. But trying to limit that area to about 1 kilometer, I would say would be probably pretty good. So that's way too large. So we really need to kind of zoom in here till it's about 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. And then from there, you basically can just bring in those coordinates. So let's see, that looks pretty good. I got part of Central Park and a lot of that downtown. And then from there, you would just basically copy these coordinates and then you just paste those into Blender here using the paste command. You can see I've already got the coordinates for downtown Seattle here, but pretty impressive to be able to load that. This took and by the way, there's different settings you can use. You can see here's a you can do OpenStreetMap, which brings in I think a lot of that 2D information, like roads and railways and lakes, rivers, and whatnot. You can bring in terrain, but the one I'm using is actually Google 3D Tiles, and then from there, you can basically select the detail level. So you can import the entire city, which is really rough geometry. I wouldn't recommend that. That's really just for getting a rough idea of the mass of the buildings and the height. But as you can see here, you can get more detail. The one I used was buildings with more details. That would take, quite a bit of time. This one I think took about 40 minutes to import. So it did take a while, but it is pulling a lot of data and turning that basically into a 3D mesh. And you can see it is all in 3D. And then you can modify the site. As you can see, I cut out the site here using a Boolean command. But then from there, you can see I can export this as an FBX. There's a number of options, FBX, and then OBJ actually was the easiest way to get it because it somehow embeds the textures automatically. Yeah, I used this one wavefront OBJ, and then from there you can bring it right into Revizto. So this is it right here, pretty awesome. And yeah, you can get very creative at this point. But how this is useful, I mean, in my opinion, architects would love this. Just being a designer, you want context to help, explain your vision or your story to the owner. And having context just adds more to your overall design. And obviously, you can use it for takeoffs as well. If you need to take off or measure and verify existing conditions, this can be pretty helpful. I mean, it's not obviously 100% accurate because it is Google Maps. So it's not as accurate as like actually laser scanning, but you can see how this could provide a lot of context and really be used for business development and pursuit work, which I'm sure a lot of architects are, always chasing jobs and want to quickly get something into a model viewing platform, and just bringing this in just adds to their value. So, and then contractors, they can use this for a number of reasons. Logistics would be a big one, site logistics, and then also just kind of showing how they can pull in a ton of data and context real quickly, just to give them an edge over the other contractor that might be competing for the same project. So Revizto just happens to be a great platform to showcase that and just really show how we can pull in all kinds of data. Uh, Obviously, with on top of all of our typical standard model data, we can now import entire cities. So yeah, I just wanted to show you just kind of some of those views that I had set up here. You can see I have downtown Seattle there, and then I can basically create sections from that, and yeah, kind of just really showcase this product even better. Here I am kind of walking through, and then this is a scan that I got from JTM. You can see here, I just overlaid that on top of the model and overlaid the drawing as well. Um, yeah, just super powerful to be able to pull that much data in here, and you can see it's performing pretty quick. I mean, this is a 3D mesh, so it's not that big of a file anyways, but you can use this to really customize the graphics however you want. Let's say I want to turn down the opacity of the city and just really pop out the buildings. Let's show where it's located. Here's another view. You can kind of see there's Amazon's headquarters right there. But yeah, it's moving pretty fast, and the detail's pretty good. And you can measure this, by the way, so it does bring it in exactly scaled correctly. I mean, it's not 100%, but it's pretty darn accurate. Um, regular. Um, there we go. So you can see right here, it's at 706 feet. Um, so this thing could be used for verifying dimensions. Um, so you can section it. So you can see it's bringing it in at the right elevation, or correct elevations are shown and the correct scale. I did have to adjust the coordinates to get it to obviously align with my 3D models here. That is something that I use Navisworks for, to just use the measure distance transform command to get it to reposition itself to the right location. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I thought this was pretty cool. Now we can really showcase Revizto not just for coordination and design review, but now we can even tap into like how you can use this for business development and pursuit work. So let me know what you think.